Well, good morning all. It's 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm in my pyjamas. But I've been lying in bed all night thinking I might take you for a tour of the wildflowers here at Common Farm. We are a week and a half away from Fabrizio's annual wildflower meadow workshop. He teaches one workshop a year on how to create perennial wildflower meadows. He's very expert in the field. I'm not, but I do know my wildflowers. So I thought you might like to see. We'll go round the garden and I'll just show you what kind of wildflowers we have here. Well, the tall yellow, you may know, is buttercup. There's an oxeye daisy. This lovely red colour coming up is wild sorrel. It makes a lovely cut flower. And when it's tall enough, it makes a sort of rust-coloured haze over the meadow. Just coming into flower here, this is yellow rattle. That people are always asking about yellow rattle. Quite hard to establish, but once you've got it, it's fantastic. And then you can see in amongst the sward, the purple pops of wild orchids. Next to the wild orchids, can you see a little bit of bright orange? They are what we call fox and cubs, and they're very happy here. And you're very welcome to the channel. If you're new, please do subscribe, press the bell icon and we'll tell you when we've got more clips coming up. And if any of the tips and tricks that give you along the way are useful, you can always buy me a coffee, or better still, join my club. And the links to coffee buying and club membership are in the blurb to all my clips. These tall silvery spikes are going to be knapweed when they come out. We're almost at peak orchid. I'm not allowed to tread on the meadow, but luckily I can zoom in and all that purple, swathes of purple, are wild orchids. And there were no orchids here when we came here at all. There were no wildflowers here when we came here. Fabrizio has made all of this from scratch. Oh, you see there's a little blue popping up there. Ooh, sorry, my finger, I'm trying to point there. That is meadow cranesbill, which is a wild geranium, hardy geranium. And in the far corner, it's not up yet, but where the daisies are there will soon also be a mass of corky fruited water dropwort, which I challenge you to say when you've had 2 glasses of sherry. The tall pink person over there is campion, very happy along the edges, woody edges of the meadow. And you can see occasionally, I wonder if I can get it for you there. I'm going to point my finger there. That is the seed head of the snake's head fritillaries, which were everywhere here earlier in the season. The orchids are spectacular this year, really. I think they've liked the cold winter, and we had a nice damp early spring, so they're tall, very strong looking, very happy. Here's the meadow cranesbill. Oh, that blue is fantastic, and soon this meadow will be a mass of blue. The meadow cranesbill will take over. What happens is, as the season goes by, you start off with this mass of yellow, and then the yellow fades back and you get the white from the daisies, and then the daisies fade back and you get the blue from the cranesbill. And then added into the cranesbill blue is we have a lot of scabious, field scabious and devil's bit scabious, two kinds of scabious, but they're not up yet. Aha, there is the first piece of corky fruited water dropwort. I'm going to point my finger, get in the way. There it is. It's an umbellifer. A small, very delicate umbellifer, very nice for cut flowers. Not my favourite wildflower, but the invertebrates love it. This is hogweed. I wouldn't cut it. I wouldn't touch it with your skin because you might blister your skin with it. You have to be very careful with umbellifers because they often you think, oh, that's cow parsley, but it's not. You have to know which is which. And along the edge here, just going over, these little white bell flowers, they are lady's smock, and they're just finishing. They've been all over the place for ages. This little pink frothy person with the straggly edges, that's ragged robin. And this sward was a mass of cowslips. You can see their seed heads there. And there are lots of orchids here. But soon there will be a different kind of orchid. A small pyramidal orchid will take over for later in the summer. And at the back of this patch there, that green leaf there, that's wild marjoram. It's amazing to think there's quite a lot more colour to come through the summer with the scabious and the meadow cranesbill, which will completely change the colour, and also the very purple knapweed will completely change the colour. The bright yellow days of the buttercups will soon be over for another year. You see the tall teasel? That's last year's. This year's is all in leaf, but not flowering yet. But we have it everywhere. The birds love it. And there's a little tangle of stitchwort. It's nearly over. Very pretty white flower. The cow parsley has made a very fine show this year. I have cut thousands of stems of it. It's been a really good year for it. There's one more thing. In amongst the wildflowers, we sometimes have escaped cultivars. So this lovely pink is Persicaria bistorta. It's not a wildflower, but it's very happily settled into the grassy sward with the cow parsley here. And here's another patch of meadow, which is on a sort of hillock. And you can see what I mean about the wild sorrel being such a lovely rusty colour. Sort of floating over the top of the meadow. And of course we have clover. We are on thick clay, and this is dairy country. It would be very odd if we had no clover. And look, along a path, little mountain cranesbill. I love a small geranium. I love a wild geranium. And last but not least, in amongst the nettles, here is a white campion. I think it's called a bladder campion, the white campion. And there you are. That's what's in flower now. So I hope you've enjoyed that little tour, and I hope you forgive my pyjamas. But you know when you wake up in the morning and you think, now's the time to do it. The light will be good because it's grey, so it's not too glary on the flowers, so you can see the colours. Anyway, thanks very much for coming along. Fabrizio's workshop is the week after next. That's really helpful, isn't it? Something like the 12th of June. Anyway, have a look at the website. And we are going to attempt to film it. My friend Arlo Guthrie, Gadget Man here, highly recommend him, is coming over on Friday evening with his drone, and we're going to try flying the drone over the meadows and see what we can get, see if we can get some good footage. So that'll be fun. Arlo is always worth a good follow on here if you like gadgets and cleverness, and he's very funny and charming. So have a look at Arlo Guthrie, Gadget Man. And in the meantime, thanks very much for coming along, and I hope I'll see you very soon. I hope you love the wildflowers. And there's been a nice bit of bird song while we've been at it as well, hasn't there? Anyway, I'll go and have my coffee and put my clothes on and have another day.